live. Whatever that was. And I hope the wind whips the entire time. Honestly, I do.
Keeps it cool.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My fine feathered friends. Hobos and hobettes.
Live from Seguin.
Oh, of course, that one. Look at that shit. The second we go. Not like that's a 10-pound camera. We'll go ahead and troubleshoot that at the same time we're going live. Let me tell you, man. Going live on a baseball field with no crew. See, there's the camera getting picked up by the legend himself, Dutch Chattahoochee. I want to get that live. Look at that. Oh, yeah, man. Well, we do need to wait, but we don't have things like that. I guess I could go over there and duct tape the bag to it. That's why I was taping it to the... I was taping it. That looks pretty good right there. Maybe a little bit more this way a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Got some gospel music, both to the Church of Baseball. I'm going to go duct tape that, and then Dutch can take over the broadcast. That looks good. All right, bud, you take over the broadcast. I'm going to go put a weight on that camera.
I guess I'm in charge right now, huh? So I'm having some difficulties with the camera. The camera fell over. And now we're having to fix it. However, I'm taking over for the moments that Turnstile is fixing the camera. So let's today we don't really have we have topics, we don't know what they are. We're kind of just gonna go with it. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the opening night here in Seguin and what a treat that was. It was a packed house, a lot of people here. We'll talk about the NCAA bracket and how Texas State isn't in there, UTSA isn't in there. We have our opinions on that, that's for sure. It is nice out here though in Seguin. It's a little windy, so that helps take care of the heat. I'm wearing a polo and a tie. Ernie's wearing his River Monsters jersey with his little chain and his ball and hat he's got there. So you're definitely in for a treat. Live from the baseball field. What I'm thinking is after this podcast here, buddy, we go out to the field and we make some pitches. You know what I'm saying? Do a little dinger derby. But yeah, so we're here till about, what do you think, 2 o'clock? So, okay. So if anybody has any suggestions who's listening, go ahead and put it in the little chat box thingy. As always, we'll address them. You should do that. We got a center field camera too. Check it out. Here we go.
That's what you do for a baseball broadcast, folks.
See, the thing is, since I'm over here, I'm delayed, so I don't see what you see.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on the center field cam now. I'm going to take some hacks. The wind kicks up to 67 miles an hour.
Let's talk about the old baseball game, huh? Also, folks, you're in for a treat. 1-1 River Monsters are. We lost to Brazos Valley last night, 5-0. But we did win the home opener, bottom of the 10th. Texas State. It was the bottom of the 10th inning, man on third. It was 2 outs, if I remember correct. 2 outs. Yeah. Didn't the guy bunt it, right? He bunted it the first. Correct. That old boy fucking hit it. Got the guy on third. The guy beat out the first base throw. Barely, but he beat it. That's what it takes. I see you taking batting practice right now. Also, Ernie, I don't either, but you're batting like him. But here's what I say. Turnstile is showcasing his batting ability from 1947 in the late 90s? Okay. Oh, you mean Kevin Moss, a.k.a. Apple Moss. Yeah. Correct. You're wearing your 1960 shorts there. Also, in for a treat, since we reached our 100 subscriber that we wanted to get, I'm going to shotgun a PBR live, as I said I would.
Look at that. We don't have the TV here, so you can't see.
Nope, I can't see. All I can go is by your word.
Just try to turn it like that.
Am I allowed to shotgun a beer here on this here field?
I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question if you do it real quick. I don't even know you're going to do it. Turn off the walkie-talkie.
I can.
And Scotty B should be joining us. Shout out to ATG, MILB Hat Billy, and Daniel Pest Control. Let me put up that sponsor, by the way. My goodness.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Daniel Pest Control. The mosquitoes at Smokey Joe were unreal. Remember that?
Here's what we're going to do.
Do your thing, bud. 100 subscribers is huge for us. You can't get to 200 if you don't have 100. That's how it works. But I think Dutch will be this guy. If he wants a pest control in the San Antonio area, my God, whatever he did, there it is. Kill it, Dutch. Seguin River Monsters. Oh! If anybody's paying attention, that was a Pepsi Cola. Might have been Pepsi Cola. I thought it was a Sprite. Hammer and Sprites. And off he goes with the Wobbly yonder. I'm going to go do some camera switches before the wind blows him over. That's the one that's going to go down with the wind. Got everything duct taped. We'll talk some NCAA brackets. And Seguin River Monsters. If you're checking in, I don't know how we're going to check. We got one viewer, and that's probably Dutch. That's all right, folks. We're getting it done. Let's go to Point Streak. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to look at some bracketology. I got some of my favorites. There it is. I don't know about that. 6'5". Brazos Valley. These are all old, man. Point Street. These are all last year's scores. I don't know what we're talking about. But and then we'll get up the, we'll go here to the web. We'll go window capture. It's going to be.
That PBR was delicious.
I think it was a Sprite, maybe, but I'm not sure. It was? Wasn't it? I don't know.
That was nice and cold.
I bet it was. Go right here. Point Streak's not going to work.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, if you are listening, we love you. You're a great beverage, great drink. So if you're listening, I would definitely take some of your drinks.
Wow, man.
Well, turnstile? Probably.
I was so good at drinking. I drank my lifetime supply faster than everybody else in the world.
I still got quite a bit. Meaning, like, I have probably 5 left.
There it is. Bracketology, folks. We're going to look at that.
But be warned, I am not drinking on the spot. It was just for a celebration.
All right.
I only brought one for the celebration.
Yep. Go back to, I don't know if they get, maybe, you know what it might be is, if you go to the Seguin River Monsters page, they'll have the link to Point Streak.
Correct. Have all the stats. All right.
Seguin RV. We should be sponsored by Seguin RV because of the River Monster. Let's see schedule. Got Baton Rouge tonight, Acadiana. 1-1 right now. Brazos Valley returned the favor at home. And then we got a couple of Acadiana homes. But let's look at the home. Let's see if they got the score there. 1 day ago. This was the home game. Standings right here. Man, our official photographer, have you looked at some of the photos?
He's a genius, dude. So good.
Dude, he is so good. I think he's like professional. Like he worked for National Geographic or something, and then he went from National Geographic apparently to the Seguin River Monsters,
which is an upgrade in his job. I will say this, though. I do like his style where he focuses on the player and everything else is blurry in the background.
Yeah.
That's what's called talent.
There you go. There's that one. Move these guys over here while I'm surfing around. Go back to the center field cam if you want to take some hacks. Oh, our center field cam still works, folks. Look at that.
So anybody just joined us, you missed quite a few things.
I don't know if you can see. Are you like in the YouTube chat? Because I can only see this one, you know? The old, this little stat. There's 2 folks out there. It's Bonnie. Bonnie, you're a legend, man.
I hope you saw me shotgun at PBR to open the show.
When you're doing as ridiculous asinine stuff as we're doing.
Correct.
With basically, oh, let me turn that off, by the way.
Someone's calling you.
With no plan. All you do is you just like bought some equipment, set it up, kind of know how it works, and just go from there.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do, and just talk out of your cornhole, frankly.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
Most people talk about it, but we're doing it.
That's right. You learn by doing, and we suck at doing, and I'm probably learning something.
Maybe.
I got some Big League Chew here if you want some. I think chewing gum and doing broadcasts is not recommended, which is why I'll probably do it.
Here's the thing. I closed the YouTube, so now I can't see anymore. I sound like an old man. I closed the YouTube, but it's open.
So I think I'm going to do a little point streak searching, but I can bust out my book, which is terrible. I just was like back and forth, and I couldn't keep score like I wanted to, frankly, folks.
Somebody named Preston Freeman said the boys are just outside of Houston.
Oh, nice. Preston's in there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Well, I'll just shout out to Preston. And I'll say something for many things for Preston Freeman. One is I went and I published the broadcast on TCL, and it was super glitchy. But I think the stuff we streamed to YouTube last year, like the games on YouTube, were only kind of glitchy. So I don't really think it's us. Like, if you look at OBS, we're not dropping frames. We have 0% dropped frames. So my question is it ViewBee? Once it gets there, it's like that's why it's glitchy. I don't know.
It could be a number of things.
Or if it's this T-Mobile thing.
You know what it's not? It's not us. That's for sure.
I don't know. It's coming out of OBS with 0 frames dropped into the 5G. So we want to have a good broadcast because, frankly, a lot of the dudes, I think, can use the video for, like, scouting stuff. But Freeman had a great game in so many different ways. Defensively, great plays. Sick deke. Filthy criminal deke on the tag at third, just standing there like nothing was happening.
Dude, did you see like all those like amazing plays that he made? Like so many like reach where they had to reach really far to grab it.
Honestly, I thought he got the guy in the first on the diving play where he hosed it across the diamond.
There's a lot of cool defensive plays.
So yeah, no, I mean, and I don't think he's even a natural third baseman. I thought he was an up the middle guy, but man, that dude's got a glove and an arm, and hit well. Huge clutch RBI. And the deke just cracked me up, dude. He just total nonchalance and then slammed the tag down. So, Preston, what's up?
Playing third base is definitely a tough position to play.
And to all the stirs out there rolling.
If I had a 40 right now, I'd pour one out for the homies, but I don't. So, I'll drink this Gatorade instead.
What are you going to do there? Are you going to do some Schlitz? Or are you going to do some Old E? Or
I'm thinking some Mickey's malt liquor.
Oh, my God. Salt Lake City Punk right there.
I love Mickey's. So
don't drink, kids. By the way,
you can. I do.
You can if you want. But UTSA, hell of a season, not in. But this is what the bracket looks like. There's some funny ones in there. One I'm rooting for is Sam Houston. They put it on the Roadrunners, but they ain't no slouch, and they have gone to what is considered the death sentence or the death penalty when you get the Baton Rouge Regional against LSU. It's like it's completely set up for LSU to come out of it. I don't know if,
do you have a favorite right now? Like,
College World Series wants to see LSU in there, but they're a good ball club. Don't get me wrong, they're good players. But Sam Houston, I want a Cinderella story, and then Tulane is like 19-40, and everybody loves that. But
yeah, I definitely want to see Tulane do well, just to be like, look, what were they, like 10-20 years old?
Yeah. Honestly, where I sit, because I'm just kind of like, I just love baseball, I'll be rooting Texas teams, like TCU, Texas. I mean, I don't really have a dog in the fight because, like, Lubbock Christian, dude, we're NAI. Or no, we're D2 now, Lone Star Conference. I got to check in on Angelo State. Angelo State is, I believe, in the D2 World Series, and I think that starts this weekend. But so Texas teams and then Pac-10 teams, because everybody poops on the Pac-10, but there's actually some good baseball out there. So we'll see. See what happens with that. We'll just fade out now that the song's over.
I mean, now that Texas
Welcome
State
to the show.
isn't in there, I'm probably going to be rooting for Texas.
Yeah.
Or Kentucky.
Yep.
I'm a Kentucky guy.
Go from that.
Obviously, Nebraska is one of my teams, but
That shot. Nebraska didn't make it, but
Yeah.
there's some Midwest teams. You know, this is a Midwest sleeper team, and this was in the selection show because, you just can't watch every single game. In the selection show, I think it was Kyle Peterson, KP Omaha, was like, dude, you better check out Iowa's pitching staff because they got the arms to do it. And that's the one thing about a regional and a super regional. If you got a couple just nasties, that's like the Chris Benson, the Clemson years when they had Billy Koch, K-O-C-H, Billy Koch, and Chris Benson was like the 1-2 punch for Clemson. It was like, dude, you weren't going to beat them. Like you were going to lose those 2 games, and that would get you out of regional. And they went to the College World Series there. So it's fun. It's a fun time of year, bud. But Tulane.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on Charlotte as well. Charlotte can ball.
Yeah, they won the UTSA. I thought they were good. They get because that was when we did the live stream in the office and we watched the UTSA game. They're solid. And they got a dude who hit a ton of ding dongs, I think.
That's what you need right there. Some Dinger Derby.
Penn is the Ivy League representative. That's kind of interesting. Indiana State, I think, is a host. The Huskies made it. That's a Pac-10er. Who's else is Pac-10? Oregon, I think, and Oregon State both.
UConn can ball too, so watch out for UConn.
UConn can ball, and who beat UConn? UConn's an at-large bid.
Yeah.
It was like, what was it?
Great.
Tulane. Somebody beat UConn. I forgot who it was, but maybe it was Tulane. I can't remember.
And of course you can't.
There's
like always, Vanderbilt is up there.
Oregon State went to the death penalty in Baton Rouge. Oregon State, DBU. I'm not sure. DBU's at large from Conference USA. But there's some interesting teams in there for sure. Santa Clara, West Coast dudes. The big snuff, everybody thought this year, so last year, NC State, the big snuff was UC Irvine. UC Irvine was like, I forget which conference they were, but they dominated their conference in all their out-of-conference games because, like, you're in California, you're really not going to get out to the SEC. Their big power conference was interacting with the Pac-10 and, like, UW and UCLA and all that stuff. They were, like, 9-1 against power conferences. So it's like, dude, they were like 38-17, and you're like, on our resume, what else can we do?
Sometimes it sucks because like
to get an at-large, but
you can't help like who your conference opponents are. So
yeah.
Like, if you ball out in your conference, but your conference is kind of weak, like, well, I don't know.
I mean, the only stone you left unturned in the situation for like a UC Irvine is you didn't win your conference tournament because then it's like you're too late, dude. You're just in. So,
yeah.
I mean, so it's Tulane. They don't have the record if you click on them, but that's kind of fun. But let me do some point streaking. Because if you want to give...
Because right now, I'm trying to find Tulane.
Yeah, well, we'll go down Seguin River Monsters roster because we picked up some dudes. Kyle Atkinson, I only think, took BP, which is hilarious, and just like showed up an hour before the game and played great center field. But one of the things that I took away, dude, we had some good pitching too.
Correct.
Honestly, the dudes that Nick Palacios rolling out there, strong, very strong. And I thought Tony Perez had his fingerprints all over that with good managing. That's why you win the one-run ball game. But I mean, if you bunt, you're a man after my heart. Adrian Guerrero, clutch.
I love small ball. It sucks that not a lot of like pro teams do it a whole lot, but
it's how you win the close game, bud.
Yeah.
I love that.
You got to be able to bunt.
Dude.
As a baseball player, you should know how to bunt. Not saying you have to be like badass at it, but you should know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like when the right time.
Yeah.
Which they obviously perfected.
You shoot yourself in the crank if you're called on to bunt and you choke it off. Then that kills it. But when you pull it off, man, that's the difference between winning and losing.
You know what was like
So-
really irritating was Brazos dude. They had some dudes that could run. Like it was insane.
Well, yeah, Garrison Weiss, and I'd have to go to their roster to get the names right, but that
was
dude was pretty wheels. I mean, you're
That dude had rocket
some people have
boosters.
speed, but the other thing I'd say is like the fact that Logan Stockton gunned down 2 dudes, sending that message would be like, okay, at your own risk, could be an out. And that's such huge value to, because it's like a turnover, honestly, in football. It's that huge of a swing because a base runner and not an out versus removing a base runner and adding an out is so huge. That's why I preach as many coordinated pickoff plays, back picks, and back throws as you can do. Removing runners is sabermetrically huge. But let me find the point streak because I want to find the box score from last night.
we were
That's what I
talking
mean.
about during the game, like those guys that got thrown out, that could have been a difference. Like if they would have made, they
in a
would've sold-
one-run ball game,
Yeah.
both those guys he thrown out. Maybe we lose by 1. We don't even get to extras because
But that dude,
Stockton's gunning people.
dude was moving like all night. Like, he was aware of everything. He was aware of all the situations, who was on base, where they were, everything. It was great.
Yeah, and
That's-
Logan's uniform was just filthy. Love to see it.
I said something for like a second of the game, dude. I like that look. That's
Yeah.
a baller right there, covered in the dirt.
Yeah, we got some dudes.
Shows that you play hard.
All right, let's
But-
just go straight 2-point streak. By the way, and
Usually, like when the team loses, it's like we can't win them all. So, no.
point stake or point streak. But yeah, the mosquito situation was greatly improved. Oh no, let's go back. It was right there. Look at that scoreboard. Let's see if this actually works. And we have an official scorekeeper. I don't know if you were at the game last year. You remember last year when the umpire was like yelling into the booth, like who was supposed to be batting in my book? Like they thought they skipped a hitter, like somebody was batting out of order with a pinch hitter.
No, I don't think I was there that game.
So, like, opposing manager, I don't know, it was like a Katie Anderson. It was like somebody was angrily yelling up to the booth, like, who's supposed to be batting?
John Deere
And I was like, dude,
was now batting.
I don't fucking know. Like, are you
Dude,
kidding?
like,
Like, if you
sometimes-
saw my book and the chicken, because I'm running back and forth from cameras, like, connections are going down. Like, I don't know, dude.
Sometimes they like the opposing coaches will say something, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really in charge. I just kind of come here and talk on the microphone.
Yeah, like we're like doing 50 jobs. We're trying to keep the online scoreboard and stream up, and I'm only keeping score for the very reason that I'm trying to call the game, and I could say,
Because next, like, if anyone ever asks me again who somebody is, I'm gonna say that's Joe Dirt.
yeah,
Joe Dirt is the batter you're looking for.
Seguin CMC Steelers. Whoa, they got the CMC Steelers from 2011. Here we go. Seguin River Monsters, Texas Collegiate League 2023. We found it. All right. All right, Rougarous tonight. There it is. Let's look at some schedule. Let's look at the Wednesday game then. So we got the scoreboard up for the River Monsters.
Dude, also I
5-zip
noticed
box score.
a lot of these guys who have power, like insane, and once they like get worked into the season, they get comfortable, they're gonna hit some dingers for sure. Dude.
Oh snap, dude! That was a one hitter. So let's look at their pitcher. Who was they putting out there? They put out Wick. Brazos put out Wick for 3. He's the only guy. Everybody else was just. There's some No brothers. Your last name is No. Let me open that up so people can kind of look at the box score on the thing. I can do my cool graphics when I go over to. And apologies to.
Next Friday not the next Friday, but the 9th
Look at
of
that. That's
June,
such a great shot.
fireworks night
Fireworks night.
on the June
go to the web.
9th of June. Yeah.
So here's your box scores. So
Fucking
we're going to run
goddamn right.
through and just highlight some dudes, frankly, on the stirs. But this was your pitchers who one hit us. Oh, man, I missed Jalen Lee. Jalen Lee did give up a couple runs, but I like that dude. Tylen Lackey, 1 inning. No runs. Kettner. Riley Kettner. And Riley Kettner, it's our pitching. Kettner is from Odessa. It's far west Texas,
Shout out to
dudes.
Odessa.
Lubbock. I could tell you about me and Kettner can talk some Lubbock. 'Cause I did a couple years in Lubbock Christian.
You know,
It's a dry town, which is insane to me because they have Texas Tech, which has more population probably than the city. But
I've never been to West Texas.
Kettner, and then Zach Longshore, transfer portal from TLU, pitched pretty good. I think that was just really in the first inning. Gave up 3 and then settled down. That was like last year a little bit with it wasn't who's the guy from Florida, man? He was good. He took a lot of ibuprofen for that sore arm. I'd have to look at 2023. Can we go back a year? TCL? I don't know. But this is the lineup here. You got Kyle Atkinson leading off. You got Jesse Herrera, and then you got Hector batting the 3-hole. Gavin Alons, cleanup. Preston Freeman, the 5-hole. Logan Stockton. Logan Stockton up here. Oh wait, this is same lineup as essentially. Then you got Logan.
Freeman's hitting 375 right
hole.
now, so he's doing very good.
Yep. 7, Adrian Guerrero, and then it's Caden Kaiser if I'm not, because I'm still learning everybody.
Oh, Atkinson. I kept saying Atkinson diet. What is it called? That diet plan, the Atkin diet or whatever.
What if he owned that and he's a millionaire? And
He
he's
probably
like,
does.
I just play.
Like that's like his pregame snack.
I just play baseball for fun.
He's like, who sponsors you? Myself. My company?
It's Connor Kaiser. It's Connor Kaiser. He's not. We got to update our thing, but it's Connor. I got to bust out my backpack, but it's Connor Kaiser.
We always have like nicknames for people. Can you call him Kaiser Roll?
He huge base running for us. And, yeah, Connor had a good game.
Kaiser Roll. So if you're listening, you're the Kaiser Roll now.
I don't know. I wasn't real popular with the nicknames I was throwing out last year.
I thought they were funny.
I'm not committed to him because Davey Wilson. I call him Gravy Davey Wilson. He's like, "You like that?" No.
He's like, "Don't call me that."
No thanks, dude.
I was like, "Damn."
So I'm just pump the brakes, see what these dudes
Here comes
are digging.
Scotty right now.
There's the legend. The legend just coming, Scotty B. And then Caden Moncrief. Love everything about that dude. So
you like the whole team.
That was essentially the same lineup. Let's see what we got there. I think Caden was Logan. No, Logan was in the left and Caden was catching. There's Scotty checking in. Let's go back to the cams. Woo! We can go like this. We're just looking at stuff, talking Seguin River Monsters.
Talking
and,
shit.
And we got Scott Berry.
How we doing, fellas?
Oh wait, let's get your mic turned up. You can throw on your thing there. Can you hear that, buddy?
Yes.
All right, we got.
doing?
There we go.
Now we have sound.
Now we got Scotty. Let's get some bump music for Scotty. I like this one. This is now joining the show. Assistant general or basically your general manager, Ryan's assistant GM,
Yes, sir.
and then the man, the Godfather, as they say in old school, Mike, the CEO, Mike G. But Scott Berry joined the show, and we probably could have stayed up till 1 in the morning after the opening night just talking, but we're like, we have to drive back. But a lot to love about that game. We're just looking at the box score from last night and the pitching performance Brazos put on. And we're going out to Baton Rouge, the Rougarous tonight, right?
Bus is on the way out to Baton Rouge right now.
I honestly think Preston Freeman is one of the viewers. We gave a shout out.
Preston's checking in.
I think he could be.
Yes, that's
He could be. What's up to all the dudes?
That's good
If
to
they're
hear.
checking out the
Bus
stream.
ride's nice and smooth.
It's hard, but see, if you look right here, Scotty, see, we're not dropping any frame rates here. So I don't know. It's not from our out. I don't know if it's out to that or if it's Viewbie, but technically our broadcast, I'm not sure. But we're trying stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. It's not a perfect science there. We're still learning. And it'll be up and smooth, I bet for Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you up a little bit there. I'm going to get your gain going. You on top of that mic there? There we go.
Talking to the mic.
Yes. We get good sound for the interview. All right, we'll come down on the bumper music. Scotty B, a catcher himself. I was just saying what a huge difference it was, especially in the one-run ball game. Me and Dutch were saying the fact that Logan Stockton gunned 2 dudes down. And that's so huge.
Logan was awesome behind the plate in that opener. If you've ever seen a baseball player walk off the field as dirty as Logan Stockton was that night.
That was beautiful.
You
Thing
know
of beauty.
He put in an effort back there. Throwing out 2 guys on the base pass in an extra inning game is massive. He put in work. He's a gamer. He got a technical off day yesterday, but his off day was just out in left field. So he got an off day from behind
off
the plate.
day on the knees.
But he's a gamer, and he was refreshing to see back there on opening night.
This is the Tuesday game. Let's go to this one. That's an interesting box score to look at on 101. I'm trying to get to that scoreboard, but I want to look at the box for the opener. No recent games found 2023 Thursday. What? Let's go here. But heck of a game all the way around, and I couldn't pick a player of the game. It was hard to say. Gavin Milon's digging stuff out of first. You got Kyle Axon gunning people out. You got Connor Kaiser just robbing triples in the corner at the snow cone style.
Credit to Kyle and Connor. Those guys, they signed the night before. They showed up. Kyle didn't even get BP in. Connor was dealing with a stomach bug. And they showed up, put their uniforms on, and ended up being just impact players in that game. Kyle was 3 for 6.
3 for 6.
3 for 6, stolen base, the outfield assist on an absolute hose from center field that Preston Freeman deked everybody.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Preston's deke was beautiful. That's kind of one of those. That's a professional play.
Yeah,
you don't get too many guys sitting there thinking about doing a deke like that. Especially during the excitement and whatever of an opening night game for your new team.
Yeah.
So for him to pull off that was beautiful. Our assistant coach, Caleb LeClaire, said it was the hardest tag he's ever heard put on a helmet from the third base dugout. And then, Connor makes that play in right field. He gets a hit in the 10th, steals third base. If he doesn't steal third base, that single from Kyle probably doesn't drive him in.
Yeah.
So both those guys were huge, but it was really a team win.
If you look at everybody, like Kyle Atkinson, 3 for 6, Jesse Herrera, 2 runs scored. One of those was the tying run.
Jesse Ward, he got hit by 2 pitches as well. One of them in the 9th, I believe it was, that got us going.
Hector 2 for 5 with a run. Gavin digging stuff out at first. Freeman all over it defensively in 3 bibbies, one of them to tie the ball game or go ahead maybe. I can't remember how that.
His first 2 came in the first inning.
Yeah,
that was an awesome way to.
No, he tied it and we thought we were going to win it. That's what that line through the
yes,
win that we got thrown out.
His 9th inning RBI tied it. His 9th inning RBI, but those first 2, Daniel Garza, another guy who showed up on opening day. Got his jersey and then steps on the mound. So
5 Ks in 3 innings.
He pitched great, but they got that 1 run across in the first. But our team picked him up right away.
Yeah.
So for them to come and pick up the starter, who like I said, just threw on his uniform and took the mound.
Yeah.
It was great to see.
Yeah, and I'm like Logan scored 2 runs. Adrian Guerrero 1 for 3, line drive up the middle, played a great second base, but his bunt just was like. Man, that's the shit right
I made
there.
sure to find him yesterday before the buses took off and said, I didn't get to catch you after the game, but that bunt was beautiful.
I was, dude. I found him in the dugout. I was like, dude, that was so clutch. Connor Kaiser, 1 for 5 run, and then Caden Moncrief, just energy. I know he wants to do more than he did on offensively, but I got all the faith in Caden. And I'll say this about Luke Greenlee, who did get touched up a little bit, and I'm not even going to, like, if anybody's listening in, they're like, get a read on what he's doing with his pitches. I like the movement on that guy. Like, I like the movement on his pitches.
Yes.
I don't think dudes could get a read on that.
And those 2 innings were, a couple defensive miscues.
Yeah.
That hurt him a little bit. So,
the ghost of Smokey Joe.
Yes. So we benefited from some bounces, and they did as well. And it happened to be at the expense of Luke. But that's not a testament of what we expect to see from his stat lines. Going forward, you can see he's got some good stuff. And those opening day nerves, everything about it is you can't judge any one of these guys by their first 10 at bats, first inning or 2. You got to let them settle in and get a feel for what they're doing.
Nice. I'll do a throw over to Dutch on your thoughts because I know you're talking about some of the stuff you really liked. But one thing I did notice, Dutch, is
I was impressed by the defensive plays a lot too.
Right.
I forgot who it was. That was I think in right field that made that running grab.
That was Connor Kaiser.
Yeah, that was the coolest catch I've ever seen.
And then Preston snagged one at third and unleashed a throw across the diamond.
I thought I got him.
Because those are
run-saving
catches.
If the umpire wanted to bang him out at first, I think he could have.
I think he could have. Nobody's going to argue.
We were talking about at the end when they stormed the field before the umpire even got a chance to call the game.
Hey, once they saw that safe sign, they kind of took it in their own hands to make sure the umpires weren't overturning it.
just pour out of the field.
I don't think the umpires were going to get together and say, nope, no, you
Well,
guys get off.
the players know how things work. So like, okay, we got a chance. Go, go, go.
So,
Before they can say something.
yep, they were
Yeah.
out there. They were out by first base in the blink of an eye celebrating, which you love to see. So that was
Oh,
great.
there was also that really badass throw, I think, from center field to like third base towards like the end of the game. If you remember that?
That was Kyle as well.
That was an
That
awesome
was
throw.
Kyle.
I was like,
that was a beaut.
Because it looked like it was going to
There's
go.
the other camera.
It was going to overthrow the third
Alright.
baseman, but it landed right in his glove and got the guy out. That was a runner saver right there.
I don't know if Scotty wants to go take some hacks in front of the plate, but we had the center field cam, and I was just taking random. I was doing Kevin Moss interpretations. I got the bat right here, bud.
You see it?
There you go. Get out there and take some hacks. We got the center field cam on. I got Daniel Pest Control up because
I'm more of
the
a
mosquito
pitcher.
difference between
pitcher, but I can do some
Dutch is going to get out there. But the team's coming together, and here's one thing as like, let's see what you got there, Dutch. Right there. Ah! Out of the yard. The names and numbers, because not even on Brazos Valley do they have the numbers. But, like, I was like, who are these dudes on Brazos? Keep hacking, dude. I like that. Strimska was the huge guy.
Yes.
The closer.
Yes, he came in at the end there.
And I think they're missing a vowel in Strimska, but maybe not. That's awesome when you don't have the vowel. And he's got the mullet. 6'8", A&M International. 6'8". Wow. Okay. Well, point streak's doing good, and I'm glad we got an official scorekeeper. I know you remember this from last year. Remember that time there was like an umpire like yelling up to the booth, like, "Is this guy batting out of order? Who do you got?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't know, man. You don't even know how jacked up my book is."
Yes,
But,
we like to think that the roster for our transaction roster and point streak are in a little better order this year.
Yeah.
as far as
So
keeping things going.
official scorekeeper. Thank you. Is it just like a local lady that loves baseball kind of thing?
It is Mike's cousin back in New York who tunes in and watches and
Oh, so the broadcast has to be on. I think I'm all for it, but I think that's a weak link. We need to find an old lady in Seguin that physically at the field. And I'm not saying whoever's keeping score, the cousin, isn't doing an awesome job. It's just my confidence in our broadcast is about 60%.
It definitely relies on a good broadcast, but we update her if it goes down.
Okay.
So she'll be on top of it. She's a big baseball fan. She's awesome, Sue.
Sue,
Great.
thank you. But I think we need to throw up a sign. However, we got Luis Solis, like scorekeeper wanted, like if he wants a big league chew.
I just caught the big.
An infield scorekeeper might save us. So, like, I just picture there's going to be one other incident with a red-faced umpire, and I don't have answers.
You know what's hilarious? When the umpire was like, "Turn that music down."
Was he yelling at Ryan? Shout out to the king.
Hey,
I was yelling at
that
somebody.
means Ryan was doing a good job if he's making the music go just a little
Yeah.
extra where the umps got to say something. Last night in Brazos, they were hitting play on the music when our guys were in the windup, so those umpires didn't care as much.
And Caroline did good. I don't know what happened to the post-game interviews. Did they get thrown up or no?
We still have to get those. I think she was working on the audio. She was making sure that we were still figuring out those mics. I think it's better to hold them than it is to have them clipped.
Clipped? Okay.
So I think
we'll work
hold them
on it.
next time.
I'm not too worried about that. I think I had 2 bad interviews. I gave Coach Perez a terrible interview. I was like, how do you feel about that? That was like my only question. But
How do you feel about the?
I was like, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but he gave a great answer. But then I was grilling Logan because I was just so impressed the fact of his entire game and behind the plate call in the game. You know, with these new pitchers you're getting, mixing and matching, and then gunning down 2 dudes. Because if you don't gun anybody out, then you get more running. I don't know.
Yeah, if you get one of those first couple base stealers, it'll definitely
It just gets out of hand fast.
It'll lead to them not running as much. So it's big.
Dude, who is our flipping photographer, man? What's that guy's resume? I was saying National Geographic, possibly.
Raymond James Photography. Our man is awesome. He's doing a heck
Is
of
he a
a
Seguin
job.
guy? Just volunteered?
Yeah, this year we got in touch with him. He's coming out and helping us out. We're trying to pump him as much as we can.
Goodness gracious,
his pictures are beautiful. Having that kind of content is great. You can't beat having those images. And he's actually something we didn't realize until we met him on that media day in person for the first time. Mike met him, and he's a New York guy.
Oh, is he?
And he's actually a Cortland grad, so me and him are
No
alumni.
way. He went to Cortland? He's a Cortland Apple?
The fact that we're alumni is kind of crazy to just randomly
Raymond
meet
James.
as he becomes our photographer. But he's awesome. The photos he gets are
Where is the
incredible.
best? Because I was on Twitter. The Seguin TCL Twitter had a lot of his photos. If I could go to them, like there's some amazing action shots he was doing.
Yeah, his action shots are great. I believe his Twitter is at Raymond James Photography.
Like that's like in play there. Adrian Guerrero.
Action shots, everything. He is now.
I gotta go to the web.
So
Let's go to the web.
I think he even
Look at that.
has been putting together some posters for our guys. He's been doing more than we could have imagined. So he's been incredible.
Raymond James. Got Daniel Garza.
I'm pretty sure that's
Right
the
there he is.
Where is it? Oh, this guy. Let's follow Raymond James, dude. That dude is insane.
Raymond Photos on Twitter.
Wow. Look at that right there.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
That's not Tyler. Look at that. That's
That was, Ryan Calvert.
That's Calvert. Okay, I got to meet Calvert because the dudes that weren't here on media day, look, he's like, your photo's so good, I can see you're knuckled up on the breaking pitch. I'm assuming.
Ryan threw 2 good innings for us in that opening day game, and I'm guessing you would enjoy an interview with him. From what I've heard from his buddies from Shorter before he was rolling in, they were talking him up as a funny guy, a little bit of a character. So,
oh dang,
so I think you'll enjoy an interview with him.
Those photos are so good. 16, who's our 16 there?
That's Luke.
Oh, that is Greenlee. Okay. Greenlee is 16. That's a great shot.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they are as crisp as can be. So it's beautiful.
My goodness gracious. Let's go back to that.
They make those white pennies look even nicer.
Yeah. Oh man, you know who? We're talking a little bit about Isaac. Great. A, you're coming out to Wild Thing. B, you built your own mound as a kid, and then you come out and just shutting people down.
I thought you were going to say he likes Motley Crue.
Oh, he does. He loves the classic. He loves the old stuff. Was it Motley Crue or who else was it? It was Crue, not Van Halen.
Yes, I believe he led with Motley Crue.
All right, and there's Colton, right?
Yeah, Colton coming in with the extra runner on second base. All you can kind of do in that situation is hope that one run comes in, and he held him to 1 run.
That's so sweet to have Raymond James. Look at these shots, man. This is what we were trying to figure out last year. We just didn't have the shutter speed or whatever, like the skills. Look at that.
I mean, getting the ball in you can't.
Dutch, you can't. Can you see that, Dutch? Take a look at that shot. Ball in the air, dude. That's a great shot.
I'm pretty sure the stadium in Tampa is named Raymond James, the Tampa Buccaneers stadium.
Nice.
So I don't know if he gives a shit, but
he owns the stadium possibly.
I'm sure that's his stadium.
That is the name of the stadium.
Check in on some MLB stats. How are the Mets doing, Scotty? Talk some Rays and Mets while I tape up this little. See this?
The Rays beat Chicago yesterday. The Cubs.
That's what I'm gonna do. Did they?
Yeah. Well, so the first game we played, we lost 1-0 because we just got off that long game with the Dodgers. But
Got it Velcroed. That Velcro's off. Oh, okay.
the Rays are balling, and people are saying they aren't playing anybody, but that's bullshit. You play who you play. What do you want to do?
I have been a little bit tapped out from Mets action over the past few days as our season has got underway. So maybe take this 48-hour stretch where our guys are out in Louisiana
Watch the Mets.
To check on some standings and maybe watch an inning or 2 of Mets baseball. But the funny thing is, at 7 o'clock, I'll be tuning in to River Monsters baseball on TCL TV instead of the Mets. So it's all River Monsters for the next 2 months.
It's all stirs. But I will say this. Some of those stirs did want to be like athletic directors and administrators after their 20-year MLB careers. And I can't remember. Did I show the Spot Track website to you, Dutch, last time?
Yeah, the one that has all the payrolls and stuff.
The payrolls? We did that on the last show?
Yeah, it had the exact payroll for all the teams.
Dude, that's an insane website.
You know, if the Rays had the money that the Yankees and stuff have, we would be the best team for the last 10 years, by far. But we can never keep our stars, man. We can't pay them. They gotta leave. So that's why I'm kind of nervous right now with the Rosarena and Franco and all those players, dude.
Randy would be a tough one to see leave for you guys.
Yeah, because it was hard for me
Slightly
whenever Carl Crawford left, but his injuries he didn't do after that. He got hurt. Boston and then the Dodgers.
All right. Well,
And of course we got Shane Baz. We have Sugar Shane.
let me check in on Angelo State because the in a D2 World Series is going on. D2 baseball World Series because Angelo State official bracket live updates 3 days ago. 16 teams. What to know? The bracket. I thought they started playing though. Saturday. Okay. I think there's 8 teams in it, and the College World Series starts Saturday, so it hasn't started.
Is it the first round, like the best of 3 games? I think, right?
First round is, I believe it's a round robin style.
Oh, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
For their regional, there's 4 teams in each region.
But yeah, it should be.
We got Garrett Felix out at Nicholls State, the Southland Conference champs.
Yeah,
so
they're in it, right?
So they made the dance.
Yeah, I forgot. We had
he's
the.
dancing.
I forgot about that.
As much as we want him here, I hope that Nicholls.
They're in the
keeps their run
Tuscaloosa. So Bonnie's watching. Bonnie, you can go to the Tuscaloosa. Bonnie and Mo Jorgen can go to the Tuscaloosa Regional and root for a River Monster.
going. Yes. Yeah.
Huh. Wear the
in
jersey
the form,
and everything.
in the form of Garrett Felix for Nicholls. That's the connection right there. Nicholls. Then we do have a dog in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nicholls to the College World
So we're
Series
rooting for
and win the
Nicholls.
World Series.
That's
year.
D1, right?
That's D1.
Okay.
They won the conference. So there you go.
If I was the betting man, on all honesty, I got my money on Kentucky.
ATG absolutely can go support a River Monster right in Tuscaloosa.
And I think Alabama's playing in that.
It would be crazy because you send them all that River Monster stuff. They could go get Garrett Felix's autograph. I'm not saying do that. Some people do that.
I think Garrett would probably.
Garrett would be like, "What?"
He would probably be impressed if he saw some
He'd
River
be like, "Say
Monsters
what?"
fans
Like,
out
we're
watching.
big
Yeah,
fans.
they'd be
His
like,
regional.
"What's up, dude?
Hey, thanks. Trey Roberts said that's a nice tent.
You like that, Trey? It's getting blown over." Shout out to Trey Roberts. Let's go check his
Sponsored
channel.
by. I told him I'm never gonna let the fried chicken go. It's like sponsored by fried chicken. But
Trey Roberts Fried Chicken. We try to support all the people that support us, and we can go here, and then we can go to Trey Roberts.
Earlier, you mentioned that there's no mosquitoes out here. Kurt Daniel came out here and nuked this place himself.
Yeah.
He had the backpack on himself. He was spraying the stadium down, and I think it made a massive, massive difference.
there was no bugs at all of any
all
kind.
good.
I think it made a huge difference. So shout out to Kurt Daniel Pest Control.
Shout out to the wind
They'll-
for
they'll
staying
get all
cool
your
right now.
pests
This
out
happened
of there.
last time. Oh, I gotta go like this. That's what it is. Okay. But yeah, Daniel Pest Control was freaking amazing because I was getting annihilated. I was like, I can't buy enough bug spray this year, frankly. And
Well, last year was so dry and hot that we didn't really have to deal with that. And
Not
this
a
was
single
kinda-
drop.
This was some new
not a
new
single
climate coming in for this
single
summer,
drop.
and we noticed it pretty quickly. And Kurt Daniel got over here pretty quickly.
Whoops. Let's turn that off.
What'd you do?
I got sound because I was trying to get to Trey Roberts' page just to give him a little push. Always help your friends. That's what I say.
Also on his YouTube page, he has some cool like videos, live videos of bands.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. One of the bands.
Yeah, ATG are quite musical. Scotty, you're a musician as well as Mike, right?
Mike rocks out on the drums.
Oh, man.
He rocks out. He's good.
What do you play?
I used to play the saxophone. I don't know
Dude,
if I could pick it up again.
I play bass. Let's start a ska band.
I used to love playing the sax. I wish I actually still had my saxophone.
We can start a
'cause I
ska
would-
band. We
I
can
would
get
pick it up again.
Ian's son, Liam. He can play guitar. I play bass. You play saxophone.
What's
Get
his channel?
Mike-
Trey Roberts what?
Yeah, it's like the what do you call it? The ATG Hall of Fame ballot podcast.
ATG Hall of Fame. There
Yeah.
it is. But speaking of musicians, and I could be if Preston's listening. I swear, I'd have to go back because I couldn't remember exactly, but
Somebody
he plays the harmonica.
It was Preston.
It was
yeah.
Preston.
That's right.
Yeah,
It was
he's
Preston
like
who said he learned the harmonica.
there was a couple factoids came out. I was surprised. Hector Surfs and the harmonica amongst the two just off the top of my head. There's a lot of interesting stuff all around.
I enjoyed some of those non-baseball questions you and Dutch were getting into with the guys. It was fun to hear some of their answers, and you get some unique stuff out of that.
We went off that sheet that you provided us with the random questions.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure
I couldn't see their questionnaires. Is that we'll have to mess
we'll
with
have
that
to
later.
check that out. Yes, I could have sworn I made you.
No,
an
you
editor.
did, but I probably could.
We actually
figure it
talked
out
about it
myself.
on the way up here from San Antonio. We're like, they always get baseball questions asked. Let's try to ask them something not related to baseball.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
that's a fun way to go about that style day.
We
and
told the dude with the harmonica he should do the national anthem on it.
that's actually
Yeah.
funny. I was gonna say that right now. I said maybe we'll get him some practice, and on one of the last games of the season, he can hit us with a national anthem live at Smokey Joe.
Here's what I'm saying about Nuclear Juarez. They're awesome, but if you've ever seen Spinal Tap, their amps are definitely turned up to 11. Their amps are on 11.
What's that scene where he's like, that's sexist? He's like, what's wrong with being sexy?
For the younger generation, I checked out Spinal Tap's greatness.
When the second half of Nuclear Juarez's "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" hits, I love it.
It's awesome.
Dude, yeah.
They rock
It gets you
hard.
going.
They rock really hard.
Yeah,
Their
just
amps
they-
are
They kind
Definitely
of hit you
11.
with the standard "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" to start, but then they get into that second part and it rocks.
They're definitely like a surf rock kind of band.
Yeah, they give the beach vibes.
Yeah. It's cool that they're all instrumental. They don't sing; it is instrumental.
They'll be back out at Smokey Joe for fireworks night on June
Oh.
9th. So they're back out here once again.
fireworks night.
rocking
Fireworks
out.
night's coming up. It's not July 4th. It's coming up.
Yeah, it's next Friday, June 9th.
I should have interviewed the band. That's what I should
Sponsored
have
by
done.
Bosses and Longhorn Steakhouse.
I could give a band interview, no problem.
Not I don't think the TCL dudes are gonna say anything, but this cracks me up, Dutch. This is just
But
for you. So I rewatched the broadcast. Like we win, it's kind of bedlam. Like I'm like high pitched, 10-year-old girl screaming like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm
Monsters win.
freaking, and then like it kind of winds. I was like, "Save! River Monsters win, final in 10." And then we like, right before we put on the bump music, you're like, "All right, you like drop double F bombs. Like I'm gonna go fucking talk to the band because they're fucking awesome."
Oh, I said that.
Like it's
Me?
It's yes.
Oh yeah, because like I'm a music guy, and I was impressed. Obviously, they're really
So,
good, and I was
UB
like,
definitely got our F bombs in there.
we're sorry.
So let's keep the language.
I didn't mean to say that. I thought we were off air.
friendly.
We were not. It was. I had to laugh. I was like, I know they're gonna love that. They're gonna think it's hot mics, but what it is what it is. But
I should interview the band. If they would let me.
Go for it.
let's go back. Yeah, the Yukio Juarez dudes.
I could talk music with people.
But
So you play drums, huh? Ooh.
yeah, but we got some musicians on there. A lot of fishermen. Some golfers. We still haven't seen. I wonder if he's going tonight as Nanny. Nanny's a huge dude.
I like that name.
I believe he is on deck for Acadiana tomorrow. It's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Ruger tonight.
The Cane
Oh,
Cutters.
that's nasty.
Ruger tonight, Nanny tomorrow. With those guys starting,
Okay.
I would like to see a 2-0 Louisiana trip. I think that would bring the boys back.
Yeah.
Some good vibes coming into the weekend,
It's
and
possible.
with those two guys on the mound, I think it's doable.
I think so. 100% faith in our awesome coaching staff, Coach Perez and Palacios and Leclerc.
Those
My
guys
goodness.
are working hard right now, we're kind of skeleton crew with our position players because
Yeah.
we're waiting on the reinforcements coming in. So it's
Is Chance Reinsdorf coming, or
we're
he's still?
we're waiting him out. I think he's getting himself healthy after a
Okay.
grind of a season. He caught a lot of games over the summer, so I think he's trying to get himself healthy
Right.
and get here when he can. So we're still hoping he's a part of this team at some point, but you got to make sure that he's healthy.
I couldn't
Yeah.
see that well, but who was coaching third base?
That's Tony.
That's our head coach.
Okay, because I couldn't see that well from over there, but good job on him coaching third base. Probably sending the runners home.
Yeah, I think so.
But Tony's been working to make sure that we're getting guys to be able to be here to fill in the spots while we're waiting, because I think we're waiting out six position guys still coming in from their end of their D1 seasons and whatnot. And so credit to our guys who are currently playing every day for about 5-6 straight. That's not their normal college schedule, so they're grinding right now.
yeah, it is a grind, folks. Don't kid yourselves about the TCL season. It could get you ready for the pros, that's for sure. But man, oh man, the Louisiana trip, a lot of card games happening. What was that? What was that game? Trevor Nanny said he played Kemp's Crimps.
Kips,
Oh, yeah,
I
card
think.
game.
You know that game, Scotty?
I didn't. They were explaining it to me in the car when we were headed up to Boss's trivia night before the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were telling me about that. That was a game I hadn't heard of. But those games and stuff like that, they make those bus trips fun and bring the team together. So you hope they're doing that instead of just throwing in the AirPods and crashing for 6 hours. I mean, after the game, sure. I'm sure.
You gotta crash out.
I hope they get some sleep on the way home after Acadiana on Friday. But
yeah, no. I don't
So
think-
we were wondering this on the way here. Where do they stay on away games? Like hotels?
When we go out to Louisiana, the two teams out there, they host our
Oh,
guys,
okay,
and
cool,
when they come into Seguin, we host them a few nights of the year. So all the teams around work hard for their hotel deals, and Baton Rouge and Acadiana both set us up nicely.
Okay,
and
that's
we're,
cool.
we're
yeah.
glad we get to do that again. We get to do that this year, and I'm not making 30 beds at Texas State.
You're forever a legend, dude. I still say there needs to be a documentary done on you and Mike and what you guys do to make this season happen for everybody.
I'd watch it.
Dude, I mean,
I'd buy the DVD, like it's behind the scene edition and shit.
there's been some pretty solid, like, minor league documentaries on just, like, you see the guy, like, the GM is, like, doing the laundry of the uniforms in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's, like, you have 4 jobs when you make minor league baseball happen. So it's not just like this. I mean, it's professional, but it's a professional grind. You do because you love baseball. And so it's like you see Scotty and Mike, and yeah, they're the top dogs, but they also do everything. Drag the field,
Yeah.
like the concessions, making the calls. It was like all this, like the driving, the trips. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, we like to consider that, we like to think that front-facing, what people see, whether it's the website or social media or whatnot, front-facing, that we kind of present ourselves as professional as can be. But, when you get to the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's just whatever it takes. It's, it's truly doing whatever it takes to make sure that these 48 games get put on and that we're continuing to, bring baseball to Seguin year after year.
Nice.
And, hopefully as the years go on, it gets easier and easier and more time to, just focus on baseball. But until then, we'll just do what it takes to make sure the show goes on.
Guys are doing what it takes. So
And the team that we have starting to build around us, so, it started off with you two guys last year, and now we got Ryan and our assistant GM Ryan, our social media manager Carolyn. We got great volunteers. Mike's in-laws were sweating for the whole opening night of the concession. So we got a group around us that also cares and loves what's going on, and that helps.
I do
helps
like
a
whoever
lot.
painted the outfield wall, the feet signs.
Well, I got to take credit for that.
Those are cool.
that's perfect.
Yeah, those are cool. looking.
Just to show what Scotty does.
What I think was the coolest part is how spot on the colors match to the color scheme.
And hopefully next season it'll be a whole outfield wall that's got a fresh set of paint on it, and
That'd be great.
and we start to make Smokey Joe pop even more.
Yeah.
But those new outfield signs were something we wanted to get up. So Mike's father-in-law was able to provide us with some of those nice hemmed metal sheets, and I painted them up, and we got them up there for opening day.
'Cause high school doesn't play anymore, right?
Not as of right now. Well,
All
as long
right.
as their facility gets finished, going into next year, I think they'll have their own. But
So this is, you can make this what you want.
yeah, we want to try to make this as nice of a stadium as we can.
It's here's a question for you, and I have, as you know, granted, and I do have to give credit to like Will Taylor, the baseball rep, was making the Colorado thing happen last year. But I'm a guy with millions of wild ideas, and this is going somewhere, that never really take flight. It's just a goony bird in the head, but it never flaps its wings. And the Colorado thing actually got off the ground. It wouldn't have, that dude didn't say yes, but it took like all you guys and everybody else rowing, and that thing actually happened. Here's one idea that I'm going to throw at you guys. You tell me what you think.
No.
That your instincts are right. So Smokey Joe, great facility. You guys, Seguin River Monsters, is doing a great job keeping it alive. But because it is available, we do a baseball camp for the kids. I always thought maybe like a 1 week sort of like existential, like you're a college dude, didn't get drafted, eligibility's done. And when I think about this, I think about like the greats like Ryan Flores from UTSA, who was absolutely unconscious in the conference tournament last year. And I was like, dude, that guy's kind of a next level guy, but the draft is only 20 rounds, and you got financial considerations in lives. You can't go searching around the independent leagues. And so, like, you would have baseball. I kind of want to call it existential bunting camp, but you just like work on hitting and everything. But you also do kind of like group therapy, man. College baseball is high pressure. You know, dudes talking about this is what I'm at, this is where I'm at. And then you could teach like you have like little periods of instruction where dudes like they're on hip pocket class. Like I want to talk about history. You know, Logan Stockton's a history guy. It's like I want to talk about, you know, the Roman Empire. And then dudes like I want to just talk about music production, talk about video production, talk about all the baseball out there, and just get weird with it.
Like a baseball guys retreat.
Yeah, it's like a retreat. That's exactly. It's not a camp. It's like you come here to decompress from your college career and see if you can find the emotional support within the group of other baseball dudes where the dream is maybe coming to an end, and do you want to go out and find some more? What do you want to do? But you can decompress and come out and play baseball for a week.
I don't hate that idea.
You know?
Me and Mike, we always used to joke about, you know, finding a weekend infield-outfield group.
Yeah.
You know, just get a bunch of guys getting together and taking an infield-outfield session on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of that because, you know, the game never leaves, you know, your heart or your head. You know, you're always gonna love it.
If we could probably talk some ex-pros and some other guys, or you can always get speakers. You know, it's like come down and talk to these dudes. The existential baseball retreat, and just get weird. You could have I could definitely do some sabermetrics because honestly, if I knew sabermetrics when I played, I would have batted totally different. I would have worked counts so hard. It's such a different math game out there, and I definitely realizing I thought I was fast. I would have stole less. It's just like it's a killer. It's a killer to get thrown out stealing.
Were you above the 75%?
I don't think I was. I have to go back and look at Lubbock Christian. I thought I was maybe on turf, but I was like, I think I believed I was a wheeler, but maybe like you gotta be like 8 out of 10, man. Really, I don't think I was. I just like to look cool diving in head first, but I probably got gunned a lot.
You definitely aren't Wheels.
But yeah, that's random idea. I'll throw that in there. But do a little bit of review on last year because this is the 2022 River Monsters, okay? But they're on Baseball Reference. Brazos was at the top of the league. The Rougarous and us were fighting it out. Their only difference is that they beat us every time we played.
That was a major factor in last year's standings.
But the best part, so they have like stats. They got hits, runs, they got all that stuff in there. And I don't know if they're pulling that from Point Streak or what, but they have the Pythagorean, which gives you what your record should have been. So we were 10 and 33. According to run differential, we should have been 13 and 30.
Yeah.
So there were 3 more wins in there. But some of the dudes, look at how huge that roster is from last year. But
yeah, we had an army.
Mr. Gutierrez, Jose Gonzalez, we had some dudes. Evan Maldonado like that. We had some dudes. Who's the pitcher that had? Let's look at innings pitched because it was from the Florida school.
Matt Johnson, I'm guessing you.
MJ.
Of?
Yeah, MJ.
He went on
dude.
to Dayton.
Went to Dayton. I thought he pitched more innings. I thought MJ pitched. Jonathan Kelly. Xavier's in the dance.
Yes, Jonathan Kelly.
It's Jonathan Kelly, and they used him a lot. He had 53 innings for Xavier.
He was awesome to watch on the mound here, and that doesn't surprise me that he was utilized this year going.
Yeah, 53 innings is a lot for college. A lot, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got some unique stuff out there, the way he works the whole batter's box and everything.
And I didn't see as a way because, like, 3 kids, you don't travel as much, but, like, his numbers was like when he pitched at home. You told me he was Nolan Ryan. I believe you. Freaking dude would break off anything in a 3-2 count, and he would paint with it too. So it was the change you had to swing at with 3-2. But it's fun. I'm excited for all the guys we're going to get to know this year, just like last year. So, well, let's go to the Seguin River Monsters. We have our own page, or are we just going like that? We just got TCL's got its own page, is what it comes down to.
It is pretty cool to see that on Baseball Reference, and
you get all the dudes in there,
and that'll be on there forever. And that hopefully we see more guys and and everything.
I'd have to check Fangraphs to see if we're up on there. I don't know what all the stuff we're on.
I hope,
but
one day down the road that we see
get all that on there.
Somebody's MLB career, and then it goes down, and it started. You got the summer league with the Seguin thing next to them. So we'll see.
I think so.
Happens.
I mean, I think we're gonna put some dudes in the show. We got some horses. So don't go out and support, is what I say. But psyched for the season. Let's go back and look at the roster, talk some dudes. But yeah, so former River Monsters and present River Monsters in the dance right now. That's what I love. I forgot about Jonathan Kelly and Xavier. I heard Xavier's kind of a homer dome. Somebody told me that. I can't prove that. You know what is a homer dome? Admittedly, Logan Stockton and Gavin said Shorter was a homer dome. Recall them saying that during the interview.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time until we see somebody send one out at one of these games for us. I think we got some pop in that lineup, and like I said, once those guys, it's not about those first few at bats. They'll settle in and don't want them pressing or anything. They'll find it.
Little Dutch followed through with his promise. If we got 100 subscribers, we're 104. We're killing it. Maybe going to be the top baseball podcast in the history of baseball.
We're about to get sponsored by the MLB.
The 100 is a milestone, though. The more you grind, that 100 gets to 150.
Start at 0.
200, you started at 0. So
I think so. And if you're doing a podcast and have a center field cam shot and you're on Smokey Joe Williams Field, that's kind of toot our own horn.
Being unique, being different.
I think that's what you got to do.
You're not gonna.
Why more people use center field cams for their podcasts?
You can't start at some 1,000 subscribers or anything. You got to build, and you got that first 100.
That's why all those videos about how to get popular on YouTube are all bullshit. There's no real way to do it.
It's punk and DIY, right, bud?
Yeah.
DIY.
That's my background. Do it yourself and hope for the best.
Masters of DIY. Underground DIY.
But see, that's why when you do it yourself and you do get to a point where you can kind of be successful with it, you understand more.
You did the grind.
Yeah, so you respect your craft a lot more. It wasn't like mommy and daddy gave us shit tons of money to do it.
It just came out, just grinding. You get in the fun of it is look at that.
Awesome. Jason was like, Blue Gatorade is the best. It is up there, but the all-time favorite is definitely grape.
Grape Gatorade?
Absolutely.
Such a thing?
I actually have a grape in here.
Not this has anything to do, but this is our show.
So here's a grape one. This is the all-time best one, and if you don't agree, then that's okay, but grape is the best.
Grape is good. We'll get that in the show. Let me go to the other cam. I can get that shot. There's the
best.
grape. If you're a Big Lebowski fan...
which you should be.
Because it's one of the greatest, the Larry Sellers moment. But I followed the script. All they do is screenshots of the film and then quotes. And this is the one where Jesus has to go door to door.
This is what
telling everybody he's a sex offender. It's so great. And the guy that opens the door is just the most redneck-looking dude holding the beer. And he's just it does not finish the line. But please get into that if you're not. I digress. It just made me laugh. It has nothing to do with anything. But
any bowling movie is great.
The Let's Get To guy also. We need to James Christopher, dude. Thank you, man. The dude's doing some cool stuff for us. Supporting this year. He's on the hat.
Yes. Let's Get To sponsored our hats this year. Their logo looks awesome on it. So big shout out to them. They're awesome, and having them as supporters is huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Just helping the small ball. But Let's Get To's great show. Got Astros fan Dutch. Look at the Fayetteville. Is Fayetteville an affiliate or something, or they just got the cool Tequila Sunrise? I don't know. But
I do think they are an affiliate. I think
the Stros.
I'm not sure.
Dude goes everywhere, man. He travels a ton.
Yeah, I mean, he's going up to the Syracuse Mets this year.
Nice.
So he's going up to stadium that I had played at. Me and Mike had played at before.
Has it been updated? Is it a cool stadium?
It's the Mets have done a lot to that stadium. It's a cool place to go watch a minor league ball game.
Let's take a look at that.
So he'll enjoy it out there. And the Mets minor league roster is pretty good. So
Syracuse Mets. They're just straight up the Mets. They don't have a weird, funny name for the.
No, it's the AA has the funny name. They're the Binghamton Rumble Ponies.
The Rumble Ponies.
Yeah.
NBT Bank Stadium is it now? This is it.
Yes. Yep.
That looks nice.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. They got some nice branding on the outside. The inside's got a couple cool
Let's
decks.
take a look at that. Oh, that's a good shot right there.
There's a little bar
You've
deck
almost
in the
made it.
outfield that you can watch the bullpen from.
Man.
So it's a cool place.
And you and Raymond James and Mike can tell me this because I was only up in upstate New York in the summers. But this was like, maybe I heard this at like Cortland or something. They had these little balls on their like radio antennas of their car. And somebody was like, why do you have that red ball on the antenna of your car? And he's like, because when it snows, I can actually find my car. Because it'll be like 2 feet of snow while I'm in class, and I come out and I don't know where the hell I parked.
I do know what the balls that you're talking about. I guess I never
Knew
really
what that was.
What they were. I thought it was just kind of like somebody who puts like the eyelashes on their headlights.
Oh yeah,
Those are
I just thought
ridiculous.
it was an accessory on a car. That does make sense though.
yeah. I thought it was like an identifier for the massive amounts of snow that upstate
And
gets.
there's very much a chance when there's a big snowstorm, your hood and everything, you can get buried.
Yeah. Oh man, Cortland apples. Let me find.
If South Texas got 2 feet of snow, they would panic. It's the end of the world.
Cortland. I just want to find.
It's a nice stadium right there.
That is nice.
Syracuse
I should just go
Mets.
to. I should go to maps honestly, but let's go to Cortland.
Shout out to the greatest Mets player of all time, Mo Vaughn. Not really. Not really. I love Big Mo, but by the time he got to the Mets, he wasn't Boston Red Sox MVP caliber.
No one was so Mo Vaughn's Mets tenure appears in Bobby Valentine's book.
You know who I forgot about? A great Mets player for a little while was it Jason Bay? He had a little stretch with them.
I'm not lying. I think that's a baseball stadium we played on in Cortland for the Cortland Apples of the New York League. They had the worst field. And we had a bad one in Schenectady. But I just remember it being a city park with a skin infield. It was like, no, that's way too nice. I don't know. There was a fence, though. But Cortland, my goodness. Raymond James here. But I feel like it was right in town.
I said it the last time I was on this show, and I'll say it again. Nobody can pull up Google Maps and find a baseball field quicker than Ernie Grant.
I have that skill. I really can. And it was totally this one because this is SUNY Cortland, like right here, I think. Like maybe. I don't know where SUNY Cortland is. Where is it in town? In the middle of town, right?
Yeah, right over there.
Oh, yeah, here's Cortland SUNY. I think we played on their skin dirt. You got a field over here, Cortland? I don't know. But this is what I do. You got a ballpark there?
I thought it was right there.
Nah, maybe they built over it because I'm old. That was like 20 years ago.
Could be wrong.
I also got ejected from that game for arguing and getting thrown out. To my point, should not steal if you can't steal. I digress.
I think you need to calm down over there.
What?
Getting kicked out of the game?
Oh, yeah.
No, not
Everybody
right
got
now.
kicked out of that game.
Not right now.
Our manager got
What?
kicked out, and I got kicked
I
out.
love a nice kick out when you when the manager. Managers now though are getting really, really like short fuse with their how they toss people out.
Yeah?
I forgot what game it was, but there was a game a couple days ago where the umpire like whispered something to the player.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you doing? You're starting shit with the player, and you're gonna throw him out."
The ump show.
It's like
It's the ump show. Go back to the
Relax.
center field cam. It's too good. You want a Gatorade, Scotty? It's hot out here.
I'm good.
I got
chugged
beverages.
Chugged one in the car when I was heading back from dropping off the buses.
All right.
shout out to the greatest umpire of all time, Angel Hernandez.
He's not umping games this year, I heard. He's like hidden away. They're like squirreled him away.
I think so, yeah.
Plus the umpire union is so strong, it's hard to fire an umpire.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Joe West retired finally. Doesn't Joe West have a podcast now? Let's find that.
Joe West.
Joe West, the two great Joe West stories, and I always tell stories, but one is the Billy Wagner story where he
Shout out Joe West.
I can't remember who's the Mets. Who would have been the Mets catcher? Because this is who told the story. The Mets catcher when Wagner was closing for you guys. I'd have to look.
Potentially Paul LaDuca.
I think it was LaDuca. So
that
this
would be my first guess.
Yeah,
LaDuca.
it was LaDuca. I swear there's a Paul LaDuca story. So LaDuca's going, fucking Billy Wagner comes in, and he goes, dude, just set up like an inch inside, 2 inches inside. Just set up there. Just sit there. This game's over. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because Joe West hates everybody, including LaDuca, you know. And then Wagner's like, don't worry about it. Me and Joe got a deal. And so LaDuca's like, no shit. I'm just sitting off the plate inside, and Wagner's just pumping like 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, and it's exactly what he said. It's like West is just ringing up everybody. It's throwing bats. It's throwing helmets. It's freaking arguments and ejections. It's the whole deal. And game's over. You know, Wagner slams the door. Not that Billy Wagner needed any help, but that's hilarious.
So, Jay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to let you finish your statement.
Okay, well, what it was is I guess so. I think Billy Wagner was like a West Virginia guy. Shout out to Jake Whalen at MILB Hat Billy, but he like maybe Joe West was from that area, so they're kind of from the same small town area. And Billy Wagner has like this really kick-ass, like restored classic automobile convertible. And in the whenever Joe West was in town, he could drive it around. Like they knew each other off the field, and he let Joe West borrow his like pimped out, refurbished convertible.
And he got the inside part of the
plate. And so he gets the inside part of the plate a lot. And so that's one hilarious Joe West story. And speaking of like hot mics, my other favorite, and I love Chipper Jones. So this is the old like Jack Murphy or whatever in San Diego. And Braves are on TBS. They're playing the Pods. Chipper Jones, I think he's batting right-handed, line drive home run. Like, he gets over the fence so fast. Like, he's sprinting like it's a double. Like, you don't think it's out. Scrapes the fence. And Joe West, he's the ump first base line, is apparently thinking the same thing, right? So he's running to get to the infield grass behind the mound to maybe make a call on a tag play at second, because maybe it's a double because it's such a line shot. And he crosses right in front of Chipper Jones as he's sprinting around first. And so he kind of like almost like runs him over, comes around the bases and comes into the dugout, and the mic is fully on in the dugout. And he's like, and Chipper's laughing, did you see that? And he's like, what? He's like, I almost ran Joe West's fat ass over. I was like, and it's in Chipper's like, you know, Georgia twang or Florida twang. Dude, it was so perfect.
That is very funny.
I almost ran Joe West's fat ass over. There's a couple of Joe West stories. And for those reasons, I didn't hate Joe West as bad. I hate Angel Hernandez. Hate's a strong word. Dislike Angel
You can say
Hernandez.
hate. Hate's not a bad word. It's only for children. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like to have bad umpires because then you get the Earl Weaver moments, you know?
I love Earl Weaver.
Asses in the jackpot.
So Jason said, you were talking about like hot-headed.
What was it?
Terry Collins.
Terry Collins. Your ass is in the jackpot or something.
So you were speaking about like hot-headed and stuff?
Yeah.
So Jason just said, I gave up 3 home runs in 1 inning in a money tournament in 2004. Then I got mad and tossed the ball over the dugout and gave up another home run. Karma. So he throws one over the dugout and then gives up another home run. So that's what, 4?
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I would have just walked out the field and been like, I quit. I'm done.
Tell me if I'm wrong on throwing the ball. Trevor Bauer was with the Indians, right? And Francona was the manager. Didn't like Terry Francona like come out to change pitchers, and Bauer throws the ball over the center field wall?
I do think he did.
In the game, like he did that.
Something along those lines.
And then Terry Francona comes out, and I think there's a mic on that. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was released or traded shortly thereafter. It's my
Trevor
recollection.
Bauer was always getting upset.
Yeah, got some emotions.
But I still like the guy.
But if you're going to throw the ball over the center field fence, who else threw the ball over the center field fence from home plate? It was like a positional guy that nobody thought, like Milton Bradley or somebody's like didn't think he had an arm. It wasn't Milton Bradley, but I can't remember. It was somebody like that. I was like, can you throw the ball from, over center? And he was like, you don't think I can do it? It just chucks it. It was like Mookie Betts or Sanderbo.
One of the best
it was
throws I've seen live in an MLB game was in Toronto. Melky Cabrera was at the left field wall, and he doubled up a runner at first base.
Oh, did he?
He made a catch at the wall, and it was the runner was he robbed it. So
Melky Cabrera.
And Melky Cabrera doubled him up at first base, and it was just one of those throws where it's like, how is this thing flying on a line like this?
Was that before or after he got pinched for PEDs for a season?
Before.
They work. I'm not saying do them, but they're not doing them for no reason. But what are you going to say? Fernando Tatis is back, which is why, and I don't know what substance he got pitched for, but it was something, and there's arguing against it. But look at his contract and tell me why the Pods are not going to sign Soto. You don't have that kind of money. So let's go back to some River Monsters talk. So we got some dudes that I missed on Media Day that Scotty can give us some insight to. Got some dudes. Got some Calverts here now. I like Jalen Lee a lot. He's also said he liked math. That's what his favorite subject was. He probably didn't pitch bad. I don't know, dude. Like, he gave up a couple runs.
Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, Coach Palacios, even after the game, said, he liked what he saw out of Jalen, even despite the 2 runs. And that's just kind of what I've been harping on, is that first inning from him is not indicative of what we expect to see.
Nah.
We think
good numbers.
He's got some good stuff. Nick was happy with what he saw.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be a good arm out there for sure.
I like it. Ty Lackey related to John Lackey. Look up John Lackey. Got Longshore. Nanny's gonna go. Luke Powell's not here yet.
June 5th, we're getting Luke.
We're getting Luke.
We're pretty excited about.
Tello's here. He was wearing a brace.
He's not even sure what happened to his arm exactly. It was a bug bite of some form or something that had his arm super swelled up, and he's been waiting for that swelling to go down, and I think he's feeling a little better.
Nice.
But nothing as far as a structural arm issue or anything like that.
How we do this in podcast repairs.
DIY.
Folks. I don't know where we're at. Get a Dutch top 5 segment or something.
We got Holden Rook hopefully here on Friday to help out for this weekend.
From ACU.
Yep, he played a bunch at Abilene this year. He'll be a nice addition to this outfield for sure.
Yep.
Some speed on the bases. He definitely passed your 75% stolen base mark. He was perfect on the year.
Yeah.
So
get some wheels out there.
Got some speed. I believe Monday Zach Henry from Texas Arlington is reporting.
Zach's the one who had a really good year. He led the team and everything a year ago.
Yep. So yeah,
and they get the same playing time this year.
So
that'll be good.
He's got it in him.
He's a pretty big dude too, isn't he?
Got it in him, and we think he'll be another
legendary River Monster.
Another good influx into this outfield.
See Arteaga. Yeah. Isaiah Arteaga had some good musical inclinations that Dutch and myself liked, but shorter. Got all kinds of stuff here. What else is going on? Let's look at the stream and see how long we've been jabbering for. I don't even know.
We're still in the center field camera.
Yeah. Well, I switch it around. Gotta go back to the center field. Center field's the funniest one. People were like, "What are you doing?"
We've been streaming according to this.
If
hour and a half almost.
No. Well, I've switched between. We haven't been on that the whole time.
No, I'm talking about in overall.
Oh, hour and a half of jibber jabber?
No, not the camera.
Oh yeah.
That'd be intense. If someone came on, that's all I saw. They're like, "What the fuck?"
That's why I did it. I wanted the really wide shot because I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That we chose to do that.
Because that's usually the type of shot you see before something starts. You kind of see the setup or something. But
isn't that like in cinema we learned in community college? You do the wide establishing shot.
Yeah, establishing shot.
And then you do the medium and the close. Okay, and that's really what we have, right? We got the wide, the medium, and the close.
Because you have the 7 shot, the wide shot, the medium shot, the close up, and the extreme close up. Of a hand or something.
That's what it is.
Before if you guys are ending this, before we do, you're both cinema guys.
Yeah, kind of, maybe. We're pretty.
So
Dutch more than me.
I'm when I get my free time, I'm gonna go see that Astro world movie by Wes Anderson.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you're a Wes Anderson guy, but his
Yeah.
movies are some
The
of my
best.
some of my favorites. The way he films and like his sets and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not considered like myself a movie buff. I don't know too many directors or anything like that, but he is one I definitely know.
Where do you sit on Rushmore?
What's that?
It's a Wes. It was like one of his first ones after Bottle Rocket was Rushmore
Oh, that's not one I
with
have on
Bill
the list.
Murray.
Yeah, no, that isn't.
Probably in my top 5 movies for just hilarity.
Oh, I'll have to watch that. I've
Uh,
seen it. I know I've seen the handful of his. The Grand Budapest is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoy him. I'll have to watch that one.
It was kind of like the Wes Anderson, like the Life Aquatic and the Grand Budapest became. It's so like Rushmore is more it was definitely theatrical. You know, like how every director has a style. Like you wouldn't see anybody do anything like, because like Bottle Rocket was like a movie. Like I understand you came out of film school and you made a pretty hilarious. Bottle Rocket's fucking funny.
It is.
And then like so now he starts getting like Rushmore was like you can see the graduation from regular movie to like Grand Budapest and the Life Aquatic with the chapters and the built
His
sets.
style is so unique.
So it was very movie-ish in basically the camera use and the filming, but there's some really amazing music in it because he uses like a lot of knockoff like British Invasion. So it sounds like The Who, but it's not The Who. So it was kind of a musical education for me. But it has Bill Murray and the Coppola kid. He's related to him, but it's oh my god, I gotta find Rushmore, but it's so good. Hey, it
That
was
is,
Max Schwartzman.
Well, Schwartzman's one of his guys.
Yeah,
he's got his crew.
He's got his crew, but Schwartzman's a Coppola. I didn't realize that until later, but he was hilarious. And he hadn't been in much, but he auditioned. They're like, dude, you're funny as shit.
Willem Dafoe's usually got a
Yeah.
role in those movies. He's got his cast that he kind of dips always back into.
But Murray is good, and it's like basically I love a versus, a good like antagonist.
Mhm.
So it's like Murray versus Schwartzman fall for the same teacher,
Gotcha.
and it goes from there.
Oh man, that'll be on the list for sure.
And it's in a school setting, especially like kind of like a grade school setting, like his chapel partner's like 12. But then it has all the adult like comedy, so it's fucking priceless. Okay, I digress. Check out that. Okay, we'll go back to Centerfield Cam. Why won't we?
My favorite director of all time will always be Kevin Smith.
Smith is great.
Those are my kind of movies, man. They're
really
funny.
is. It really.
I mean, of course, he has serious moments. You know, it's not like all funny, but
Yeah.
I just like his style, his characters.
He's a legend for
Yeah.
sure.
Jade and Silent Bob, Clerks.
Yep. Kevin Smith.
Mallrats.
Kevin Smith's a legend.
My two film recommendations today are then Rushmore for You and An Evening with Kevin Smith. I don't know if you've seen that, Scotty, but I recommended that too.
No.
An Evening with Kevin Smith is hilarious. It's pretty early in his career. I definitely believe it's post Mallrats and post like Chasing Amy. So he had maybe a little bit of leash with the studio to kind of do a DIY thing. And he's like, dude, people will watch this. And he basically did a campus college. Caleb Leclerc followed me, and that's awesome. I'm following him right back. He basically did a campus speaking tour. What? I don't know what's in my feed, but Chrissy Teigen breastfeeding is.
Ooh.
I was like, wait a
He
second.
used to have a podcast. I don't know if he still does, called Jade and Silent Bob Strike Back podcast, and that was
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. That was really good. They would just tell stories, you know, and bullshit and all that.
Figure out why Chrissy Teigen breastfeeding is in my podcast.
Well,
my feed.
if it's according to your likes and what you like, I don't know. Maybe you're watching that kind of
Breaker
stuff.
of narratives. I don't follow this person, so they just put it in my feed. Okay.
Yeah, they had
Your
that.
For You feed.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
I just noticed that like a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize there was two different
That's
tabs.
weird. For you and following.
Yeah, I didn't know there was two different styles.
Okay. Let's go
That's
to
a
my
nice hat.
following. But yeah, Eating with Kevin Smith is greatness because Tampa Bay. He's not a Ray anymore. He's a Blue Jay. Kevin Kiermaier. But
Yeah, he went to. Yeah, we didn't re-sign him. It's a damn shame, but what can you do?
But I don't know what I was talking about. Lost the loop. But anyway, Schwartzman.
I also like Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie is great.
His films are always great.
His are always really fun. You know who's a director? Because talking favorite directors, I love Spike Lee. I love a Spike Lee movie.
Spike Lee joint.
Spike Lee joint, and it's just a movie that, like, if people are like, because, like, he brings up a lot of social issues, but just like a movie to see how good of a director that dude is was Inside Man.
Oh,
it's just such a good movie.
phenomenal movie.
And that's all him directing, and he just had, but that's a good-ass movie. But I love me some Spike Lee. And he does a masterclass. Those masterclasses things, I don't know if you guys have ever done those. It's kind of worth it. I think it's only like $10 a month, or so. It's not that expensive.
People say that masterclass is kind of a scam.
It kind of is, but like
I've never used this. I can't really speak on it, but it's just what I heard.
Here's what I liked about it was, like, it's just a bunch of, like, if you like Spike Lee, which I do, then it's just a ton of videos, like, it's so many videos of him talking about the filmmaking process and, like, how he goes about pre-production, how he does, like, cameras, 2-camera shoots, screenwriting, script writing. Like, it's so, like, if it's basically, if you like YouTube and like watching stuff about Kevin Smith or whatever your favorite directors, it's like that. It's essentially YouTube, but just like tons of videos you haven't seen yet, where they just explain a lot of the process. So that's
we watched one for a script writing class. The guy that did the White House show. Oh my God, what was that show? The West Wing or something?
Yeah.
Back in the day, we watched that guy, the writer. He was somehow he wrote stories and he went about it. But when I write stories, I write them how I talk and how my real life is. So there are a lot of cussing and a lot of talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to produce, well, not really produce by myself, but in this summer, produce one of my short films that I wrote.
Yeah.
I have a couple people that want to, like, anybody want to help.
We've done some shorts, but I definitely want better sound and production. But, like, we got some of the stuff we need. I don't know.
So, like, it's like a 15-page short film that I wrote.
Kevin,
but
that's good. I don't have time to write right now, but
I got to finish my full length, because that's kind of like what I want to do. I want to do everything but be a director,
Yeah.
I like writing. I like being in front of the camera, behind it. I like producing. I like editing. But being a director is not for me. I'm not good at bossing people around or telling people what to do.
I love it, dude. I'm psyched for it. And here's another thing we could do. So we can go back to last year and look at some of our feeds. Because I just don't think when we went to YouTube, we had that level of jerkiness. See, like, that's smooth right there. Let's pull this up so everybody can see it on OBS. Like, we didn't have, like...
On media night, there was no
jerkiness.
Along that line.
And now we're using the T-Mobile. That's why I'm worried if it's ViewBee. Like, should we restream somewhere else and ViewBee so there's not... Because I think some of these a lot of the players will use their...
Oh, they very much do want...
For highlight reels, and if it's that jerky and you can't see the swing... Because, like, that's a pitch and a swing with no no hiccups. This is a center field cam shot without glitching. So, like, we've streamed... Like, it's the same setup as last year. I'm not really sure... what the issues were.
No. We want to make sure it gets up there because we use it. We want to get your calls. We want that, that walk-off call, and our guys want to see their stuff. So
yeah, it's good for recruiting. Like, that's full sprint there. So I'm not sure why we were so glitchy on ViewBee, but we can broadcast pretty decently. I can't remember which camera this was last year, if that was a Mocos or if that was the camcorder, but that looks pretty good right there.
It'll get there. That glitch, it's funny, we want to make sure the audio's good and everything, and we figure out last year's issue, and then something new pops up that we didn't have to deal with.
It's always something with the tech, man.
So it's just, it's something you just kind of got to keep rolling with, and then I'm sure we'll get it right.
We'll get it. Dutch Chattahoochee, thank you for christening the 100th subscriber. You know who the 100th subscriber was?
No.
The King, Ryan King.
Ryan is a...
Shout out to Ryan King, assistant.
Ryan's been the man. Having him around this year is truly invaluable. It's
fine.
Me and Mike would joke last year that we needed some clones. And I think we got one in Ryan, and Carolyn has also been phenomenal.
Yeah, Carolyn's
helping
awesome.
out with socials. The more we do on socials, the more that brand grows, and she's been great. So, like you said, just the team continues to grow, and it helps.
Trying to find the tweet where we introduced Ryan King. Just give that dude some love. It's down here. It's a little bit earlier in the season. Look at all these awesome TCL streaming.
Mike put that commercial together. It's pretty sweet, if you ask me.
There's ATG right there. Thank you, boys. But yeah, King was officially the 100. That's you never get to know.
This week, to steal someone else's quote, we are beyond the gate this week. We are outside.
We are beyond the 100 gate.
We are outside our comfort zone.
Look at Gavin.
It's-
Gavin right
Bonnie
there.
was like, "Yeah, we walked outside our gate. We're out. That is cool." But that's what we are this week. We're beyond the gate.
We're beyond the gate. We're beyond
We
the
joined the
center
club.
field. All right. Or possibly back. Let's do some bumper music out. Do the outro music. There it is. It is not a 3BGB podcast. It's not a 3BGB anything without significant technical difficulties. Dutch pounded us. PBR?
PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Pipper, 100.
A shotgun, that son of a bitch.
Thanks to Scott Berry, GM of the Seguin River Monsters. Thanks to all the River Monsters and coaches. Go
Thanks
get
for
them
having me
out there in Louisiana on Louisiana trip. Take them down. Take them down out there. Let's take a look at them. We'll be back and we got Katie Anna for 2 at home. Yep.
The cane cutters, huh?
Them doggone Rougaroos. Rougaroos had the manager. His brother's son was
Wes is not their manager this year. Wes Terrio is.
Terrio. Yeah, Terrio. So Terrio's not their manager?
Nope.
Okay. We'll take down Rougarou. It'll be the first time ever.
Yep, let's get that win. Let's get that elusive root.
It'd be a shame if the players all got gas, right? They all got the bad case of the flu.
It'll be the Rube taking down the Rougarou.
All right. That'll be awesome. Thanks to everybody who stuck with us this long and through the technical difficulties. That's standard. You just have to know when to expect it.
And remember, kaboom.
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 And if you're drinking, don't drive.
Correct.
If you're driving, don't drink.
Stay at home if you're drinking.
Remember to tip your waitresses. We out.
Your life is more important than a crash. Maybe. I don't know. Depends what you think of your life. I guess. I don't know. No, don't drink and drive. What you do, though, is you drive and you